This is a little thing on yield management. Yield management for this is mostly for hotels, but it works for restaurants too. We're going to talk about it in terms of hotels today. This is huge, and it goes into this services marketing thing. You know, this is trying to sell your property at its maximum price. Its maximum price. At a hotel, we're going to have different kinds of rates, and we're going to offer all kinds of discounts. What kind of discounts do we offer on hotel rates? I mean, what categories? What would be reasons people could get discounts on hotel rates?
It's the off season.
Off season, yeah. Shoulder season, discount. That's a discount. What other kind of discount do we offer?
Like a manager special.
Manager special? Why would a manager do a special? Low demand?
I just heard that. Like, I just remember going to a hotel and like, she was on the phone making a reservation. I heard her say that. I'm not really sure. Like,
Okay, yeah. They can do that. At periods of low demand, managers will sometimes offer specials to, by the way, do we want to have, let's talk about some more discounts first. What other kind of discounts? Have you ever booked a hotel room? Or maybe you've never booked a hotel room. Yeah. Okay. Do you just take the price they offer you?
Sometimes.
When I call a hotel I always say to them, okay, do you have availability first of all? All right. What's the rate? And they tell you. And I say, okay, what's the AAA, senior citizen, AARP, government employee, veterans of foreign war? I just go down the list. You know, handicapped. I mean, I give them everything. Diner. You know, I'm figuring now I'm not all those things, but you know, I want to know what their discounts are because I want to start finding out what they are. So the typical discounts that people get, first of all, AARP. They discount. You know, seniors are crazy. They're so crazy for discounts, and they love discounts. When I became eligible for AARP, I decided I wasn't going to sign up for it. But my wife, who's younger, she signed me up for it and didn't tell me because she wanted to get the discounts. So I refused to belong to it, but now I belong to it. I also, my friend Pete Herman also signed me up for the National Rifle Association one time. And I used to get all these right-wing mailings and stuff like that. He thought it'd be fun to have me be in National Rifle Association. He's the guy with the guns. But guess what? There are NRA, National Rifle Association discounts at places. AAA, another big one. But there's all kinds of discounts being offered. And what these discounts are, these are discounts off of what is called the rack rate. What's the rack rate?
the highest rate.
It's the highest published rate. Yeah, you have to actually publish your rates. And so the rack rate is the highest published rate. Does anybody know why we call them rack rates? In the old hotels, all the keys were actually kept in a rack with little cubby holes in it. And so they used to write above the rack there the rate for that room. So if people came into the hotel, they'd go to the desk, pick up their key, and go up to their room. When they went out, they'd drop their key off at the front desk, and the front desk clerk would slide it into their into the little rack there. And then they would know that the guest is out. Or when a hotel was if they didn't do that, they used to keep the keys in there when the rooms were unoccupied, so a clerk could look up there and see what rooms were unoccupied. So that's the rack rate. So what we want to do is, the rack is our highest published rate. What we want to do with yield management is we want to try to be selling our rooms as close to rack rate as possible. And what we're going to do is we're going to become aware of our times of peak demand in our hotel in order to get rid of discounts during that time. Okay? So if we have a commercial property, what kind of guests are staying in a commercial property? Tourists or business people?
Tourists. Business.
Business people. Yeah, commercial property, or sometimes we call it a business hotel, but that would kind of give it away too much. and that might, where might a business or a commercial hotel be located?
In the middle of a major city.
Middle of a major city where people are doing a lot of business. Where else?
Off of major highways and stuff.
Off major highways that are linking, you know, industrial parks and that kind of stuff. So those could be commercial properties. What's the peak time of the week for a commercial or business property? Is it a weekend or is it weekdays?
Weekday.
Weekdays, because that's when business people are traveling. Okay, so if we take our Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, okay, you guys recognize these, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see that pattern there? What of these days here, what are your 2 peak days for business travel?
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Tuesday, Wednesday. These are your 2 biggest peak days for business travel because, you know, it's the middle of the week for people. But, you know, by Thursday night, you know, people are starting to tail off a little bit. I mean, Thursday night can still be strong and Monday night can still be strong. It's just that Tuesday and Wednesday for a business property tend to be your 2 biggest nights. Now, what are your biggest nights for a resort property?
Friday, Saturday.
Friday, Saturday, okay, are your 2 biggest nights for a resort property. And so what we want to know is, we want to know when our peak seasons are. And we tend to think of seasons as being like winter, spring, summer, fall, which makes sense. But for our business, they could also be changed by the week. In Ocean City, a place that used to exist right over there below Atlantic City, until a couple days ago, in the summertime, you know, I used to have a lot of rental houses over there, and in summertime, people rent. They come in on Saturday and they leave on Saturday, so they can't check in until 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon, and they got to be out 10 o'clock Saturday morning. And you got this whole changeover that goes on. Oh, it's crazy over there. My parents used to operate a cleaning business called the In-Betweens, and they employed my sisters and all their friends and my brother. And, oh, it was crazy. I even got sucked into it a few times when they had, you know, too much business going on. And, oh, you got to help us out, and you're running around doing, because you got like 4 hours to change over all these places, you know, and. My father used to, it's amazing because some of the people when they leave, they completely clean their places. I mean, completely clean. And some people leave it a mess. But one time, my sister went to a place and it was completely clean. And she called my dad up, who was back in the office, recording everything. And she said, "What should I do? It's completely clean." He said, read a magazine and turn the vacuum cleaner on. So in case anybody's downstairs, it sounds like you're cleaning, you know, because, you know, you don't want to just walk in and say, oh, it's clean, you know. So these are seasons. And what we want to do is during peak seasons, like in the summertime, when I was renting places in Ocean City, June, we would lower our rates. But in July, the 2 biggest weeks for us were the last week of July, first week of August. That's the traditional high spot of the summer. It's moved a little bit further into July now because so many schools and colleges are starting classes earlier. So people aren't coming down as late in the summer as they used to. But it's funny because the makeup changes. Like in late August, instead of seeing families with teenage kids, now you see families with preschool kids. And especially in September, because the preschool kids, you know, or even grade school kids, it doesn't really matter. You take a week off, it's not going to matter. And the rates are lower. So and the water's warm and the weather's warm. The only bad thing about it is that there's a lot more sharks in close at that time, and these little kids are pretty bite-sized. But you know, so that could be a bad thing. But you can see the makeup change. But what we would do, like, you know, we would set our schedules for our rates, and then we give it out to all the real estate agents who do the rentals, that kind of stuff. And a lot of times, these shoulder seasons, like the second week in August and the third week in July, whatever. I mean, our peaks, you know, that was it. We set our absolute highest prices, and every year we kicked it up a little bit, and that kind of stuff. But, you know, sometimes on those 2 shoulder weeks, you would go a long time before you'd fill up. But you didn't want to discount it because it didn't matter if you filled it up the day before people moved in or 2 months before people moved in. You hated to give up that thing because you were pretty sure you could get that kind of revenue. So what you want to do is, when you're doing yield management, first of all, you want to try to match your rack rate to your highest days there, okay? And then you want to know what all your discounts are, all right? That's important. Hotels have so many discounts that they can't keep track of them all the time. Here's a good example, Travelocity. Your Travelocity, you're giving that Travelocity a discount to sell your rooms for you. Well, guess what? There are you got to watch them and you got to pull them sometimes because you don't want them on there. And what you do with this yield management is you have a system called willing to sell, okay, and discounts. And so you might see a quiz on this. Okay, if you have a 500-room hotel, let's make it. Yeah, let's keep it. It doesn't matter. Okay, willing to sell. Oh, I'm sorry. This is rack rate. Okay, rack rate. Let's say we have 500 rooms. Okay, willing to sell, and let's see, sold, or let me make this reservations. Okay, so if you have a 500-room property, how many rooms on any given day are you willing to sell at the rack rate?
500.
You're willing to sell 500 rooms. Okay. Now let's say that you have several discount categories. One group of discounts is at 10% off. One group of discounts is 20% off. One group of discounts is 50% off. Okay. So we'll just do it that way. We'll keep it simple. Okay. So if you if you have 500 rooms, your rack rate, you have 10% discount, 20% discount, and 50% discount. All right. What you got to do, and by the way, this is where it really gets tricky for people. Okay. This is where it really gets tricky. You're willing to sell all 500 rooms at the rack rate on any given day. Now, so the reservations, these are reservations you're predicting, okay? You're predicting these reservations. Let's suppose that you predict that you're going to get 100 reservations at that rack rate. Okay? You're going to get 100 reservations at that rack rate. All right, or you're going to be able to sell 100 rooms at that rack rate. This is all stuff you're predicting. All right. Now your next discount category is 10% off. So now you're looking ahead. You're forecasting. So you're saying, okay, on this date, I'm only predicting I'm going to sell 100 reservations at rack rate. Okay. How many reservations are you willing to sell at 10% off?
200.
I hear 200. 400, yeah. I'm willing to listen. If I have 500 rooms, okay, and I'm predicting I'm going to be able to sell 100 at the rack rate, then I'm willing to sell 400 at the 10% discount. Now let's suppose I predict that I can probably sell 300 rooms at that 10% discount. How many rooms am I willing to sell at the 20% discount?
300? 200?
200.
Okay. I'm willing to sell 100 rooms. Okay. I'm willing to sell 100 because I'm predicting I'm going to sell. Oh, wait a second.
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm predicting. I'm willing to sell 500 rooms at the rack rate. I'm predicting I'll sell 100. Right. So that means I'm willing to sell 400 at the 10% discount. But I'm predicting I'm only gonna sell 300 at the